This episode of Stuck in Vermont is brought to you by Burlington College.
'Cause we're stuck in Vermont.
Maybe when I'm really old, I could do a self-biography.
Welcome to Stuck in Vermont, brought to you by 7 Days. My name's Ava Solberger. We're here in Burlington, Vermont for the Burlington Book Festival. It's a 3-day event in which authors come, read portions of their books, sign their books, meet their adoring fans. One wonders, though, is the written word dead?
Rumor has it there are only 7 plots in literature.
Let's talk about books. Let's talk about stories and imagination.
I read promiscuously and voraciously.
Oh yeah, I love books. I buy a couple $1,000s worth of books a year.
I do. I read books.
I like to read a lot. I like to read.
I read a lot.
Yeah, but my mom reads them to me, so...
Does your mommy read to you?
Yeah.
Well, I think kids actually read more than grown-ups do.
Books are a primal way of communicating.
There are, 500,000 words in the English language? It's a vast language.
The folks that are here because they love books.
At any city that has flying monkeys scarpering over the rooftops of their public buildings is a city in which I feel very much at home.
There are so many wonderful writers out there, and these are members of my community. There's so many local authors here.
The recommendation from the front row is to make it up.
I write books because I need to know what I think about important things. If you mask something in fiction, that doesn't make it less true. Sometimes it makes it more apparent.
Nonfiction is about real stuff, and fiction is made up.
I write really for myself. The fact that anybody else has ever wanted to read what I've written has been a lucky sideline.
You give a gift to the reader, which is that wonderfully turned phrase, that paragraph that evokes an image with which they're familiar, but which they'd never quite seen in that way before.
Things that happen in books, you find, change the way you see the world and enhance the way you see the world.
When you read a story, it resonates with you because of the words you're reading.
Scientific fiction books. I just read War of the Worlds, and now I'm obsessed. Through the Looking Glass, Alice in Wonderland.
I like reading books that I can relate to. St. Albans Fire, and I loved it, and so now I'm going to start reading his series. The fact that it's based in Vermont, I think is really nice.
Little House on the Prairie books. And I also like to read nonfiction. Usually about cartoon characters. Diary of the Fly and Diary of the Worm and Diary of the Spider.
Well, you know, if it does, it does.
What, 50% of the population, the most recent study, is not reading?
Many people are shaking their heads and saying, oh God, the written word is dead. I'm not that gloomy.
And we're not allowing our kids to sit around with a lot of nothing to do except curl up on the sofa with a good book.
We kind of get told what books we have to read, especially in school. I think if we were allowed to read more of what we want to read, more kids are likely to read than to hop on Spark Notes.
Our lives have gotten very busy. In addition to the kids' activities, there's also the computer and computer games.
I'm also really into video games, so video games replace the written word. I'm into that too.
Do you have any idea how much dialogue there is in Halo 3? It's like reading the corrections.
Little devices, and this will be a full-fledged book.
The Kindle's amazing. It's like this, it's basically, you can fit up to like 30,000 books on this little device.
Do I care? No, because the content, regardless of whether it's a book or a device, it's still the written word.
As long as there are children coming along sitting in the back seat who need to go to the bathroom, but the next rest stop is 20 minutes away, storytelling will never die.
Get them involved, flip the switch, and the imagination soars, and you're hooked.
When you think about it, video making, storytelling, writing books, they're all a little bit similar. We'll get stuck with you again real soon.
It was a male alien, and it was the first alien on that planet, and it built this really complicated robot machine. And then when it died, since, the males don't have babies when it died, it was actually programmed to build other robots that took over the planet. They built the spaceship and came to Earth. And that's as far as I've gotten.
We're one of the few colleges in the country that have an overseas study program in one of the most fascinating cities in the world, which is Havana, Cuba. Burlington College has applied for and received a license to have an overseas study program in Cuba. We sent 6 students there, and we welcome applications.